welcome back to my channel, Glow with Candace. So on today's episode, we're gonna be doing an unboxing of a brand new palette from Viseart called the Spritz Edit palette. So this is my very first palette from Viseart. I've heard wonderful things about this brand, and when I saw this palette released, I thought, oh, I love the colors, so I wanted to purchase. It was $39 on the Viseart website. It might be available at Sephora sometime in the future, but I don't know for sure. If you are interested in purchasing it, I will leave the link down below so you can go to the Viseart website to purchase the palette. This is the eye look that I have for today. Let's go ahead and start unboxing it, right? All right, so I have my cute little makeup band, so it keeps the hair out of my face while I put my makeup on. I absolutely love this thing. Got it at Ulta for like $4.99. I have two. This one is my newest. It's cute leopard. Love it. Pardon my scratch here. That is just from Eska this morning giving me a hug. I have dermographism, so when anything touches me, I get a hive or a rash or something. Sometimes they itch, sometimes they don't, but it looks worse than it really is. Have my cup of coffee here. So just enjoying that a little bit while I apply the eye makeup. We're gonna see me apply a look with this Viseart Paris Spritz Edit palette. Here we have the outer packaging of the Viseart Paris Spritz Edit palette. This is a 12-pan palette. It's designed to be based off of the Spritz cocktails. So all of the names of the colors are cocktail related. I am gonna pronounce these wrong. Just hear me out. I will do my best, but I guarantee you I will not pronounce most of these correctly. You can go ahead and laugh at me all you want. We can laugh at this together at the end, but I'm gonna do my best. This is my very first Viseart palette, so I'm very thrilled to have these in my hands. I've heard wonderful things about this company, so I cannot wait to dive in and see how this looks in person and how pigmented it is. This is the palette. I love the colors. It has the cute bubbles to remind you of Spritz, so that is very adorable. I don't know if these are what all these palettes look like in the Edit collection for Viseart. Like I said, this is the first palette I have purchased, and I know they have different collections. This is the Edit collection. So you open it up like so, you pull this. This is the inside packaging. The palette is beautiful, definitely warm tone. I love those pinky colors. Those are honestly what spoke to me, and why I wanted to purchase this palette was because of those couple colors, because I love that I can throw that in with some neutral colors if I want, or if I just want to do a more neutral look, I can do that as well. There is a compact mirror. I love to have those with my palettes because it is just nice and more handy to use. Now, the color names are not on the back of this palette, or neither are they in the palette. They are only on the outside packaging. So if you want to know the names, you have to keep the outside packaging. I hate how it's not at least on the back. Real quick, I'm just gonna go over the color names with you. I'm going to butcher them. FYI, we can laugh at this now, we can laugh at this later. I'm gonna do my best, guys, I really am. We're gonna start at the row up here from right at this color palette here, and we're gonna go across. So just follow along with me as I go across, okay? So the first one we have Simabella, Prosecco. I know I can pronounce that one. Terraco, Brochet, Limoncello, Spritz. Okay, I can definitely pronounce that, and I love that pink color. That is gorgeous. Oh, I cannot wait to swatch that. Fizz, Aricana, Balmy, Scalia, Granita. Oh my goodness, I love that color too. And then we have, last but not least, Figura. Absolutely gorgeous colors. I'm excited to swatch these and show you guys how they look swatched. And then we'll do an eye look with this. I can already tell you this, I am definitely gonna use pink in there, the Spritz color, maybe the Granita. We'll see how we go. These colors swatched beautifully, guys. There's a little bit different formula than the shimmers and the mattes. I will say the shimmers swatched amazing and they're so buttery and creamy. And then the mattes were a little less pigmented than the shimmer colors, but they still are very pretty and the pigmentation is there. I'll show you guys a live swatch. I just didn't want to show you guys this whole thing being swatched so much time. So I'm just gonna show you guys, like I'm doing this color here and I'll show you on the back of my hand. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Now that's one of those shimmer colors, okay? So look how pretty that is and how pigmented it is. Now I'm gonna show you one of these matte colors just so you can get a feel for it. So it does come up really good on the finger, of course, but see how it's not quite as pigmented? I mean, it's still there, but I think it's because the formula is a little bit different with the mattes than it is the shimmers. So the pigmentation is there, just not quite as pigmented as the shimmers. Those ones are so creamy and so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Probably some of my favorite shimmers from palettes that I've seen. However, the mattes, I mean, they're still pigmented. They're just a little bit dry in my opinion. And I think that's why you don't get as much when you go in for your first initial. And I'll show you guys another one. It's not just that color. So here I'm going for another brown. Well, that one actually did a little bit better. So maybe it just depends on the color, but I do notice, like, I'll show you another shimmer. Those ones just are a lot better. See how they just show up better? And I mean, I will say the matte colors do still show up. It's not that they're not pigmented. It's just, I think the shimmers are a little bit more pigmented. Before we get started, I'm gonna put some concealer around my eyes. Sometimes I use eyeshadow primer. It just depends on how long I want my eyeshadow look to last. I have oilier skin, so I usually will use an eyeshadow primer if I plan to wear my eyeshadow for a longevity period of time during the day. If I only plan to be out and about and want it to last for a few hours, I just use concealer. And of course I have a setting powder as well. Concealer I'm using today is ColourPop's Pretty Fresh collection in the shade, what is the shade that I use? Fair 10N. I'm gonna be setting this with a color in the palette that is a little bit lighter. Instead of a translucent powder, I usually use translucent powder for setting my concealer or eyeshadow primer, but today I'm just gonna use what I can out of this eyeshadow palette to show you guys as much as possible. I'm using some brushes from Farah that I got in my Ipsy Bag Glam Bag Plus like months ago. They're really cute, guys. I love these brushes, and on like the side of them, they also tell you what they can be used for. I'm gonna dig into, I guess, the color I'm gonna set with, since it's the lightest, and I guess I'm gonna set with this color. I could do this one. This one's more, I think, the one. I could probably set with either one of those, but I think I'm gonna set with this one. Now that I've set my eyes with that base color there to set the concealer, I know for a fact that I am wanting to use this Spritz color. I think it's called Spritz. That's the one that's called. Yes, that is the one that's called Spritz. Had to look at the back of the outer packaging. So with that being said, I think what I wanna do is I wanna add like a lighter brown, kind of like add it in there. So we're gonna go with this brown right here. I know I want to do a look with this Spritz pink color. So still the same from the fire brushes, I'm gonna be using this line. However, I'm gonna use a different brush that'll be more focused and I can really pat on that pink. Now that I have the Spritz color on, I'm gonna now add this beautiful shimmery brown, and I'm gonna add that into the corner so it gives it a little bit more darker appearance. I'm using this same blending brush here just because I'm gonna be blending it in the corner. That brown comes out really pigmented. Look, I just barely tapped my brush in there and look how dark it is. Definitely be careful when you're going for those darker colors unless you're meaning to go really dark. So I'm gonna lightly put this on my corner. Now that I've added some brown, I wanna add a little bit more pink. That Spritz color again, just because it's kind of a little bit lost in the corner there. So I'm gonna add a little bit more Spritz. I really want a little bit more of a transition color from the pink to this darker brown. So I'm actually going to go into this kind of like lighter shimmery color as well. And I'm going in with a little bit different brush. This is a clean brush here. Just gonna go back in and blend this a little bit more now that I've added that transition color. I'm gonna add a color into the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna go with this kind of like gold color here. I'm sorry I'm not referring to names, it's just hard when it's not on the back of this palette. It's too much work for me to look on the outer packaging. Using this little tapered brush. That pink got a little lost, so I'm just gonna add just a little bit more. So something that I like to do is I like to add highlighter to my brow bones, or I'll add like a lighter color in the eyeshadow palette to kind of highlight it. And so I think I'm gonna use some more of this color from my inner corner there. I'm gonna use a little bit more of this color to kind of like accent it up above. So I just finished my look and I really am loving it. So I'm just gonna go and put on the rest of my makeup real quick, and then I'll be back on camera and show you guys how the end result looks. My overall review on this palette is I think it is a great must-have product if you don't have these colors already in your collection of eyeshadow palettes. I will say a lot of these colors are pretty common in a lot of different palettes in the beauty world. However, if you're looking for something that has a little bit of punch with the pink, but also more of those neutral, warm tones, I think this is a great palette to have, especially since it's small for travel, and it is definitely a bang worth your buck. even if you don't go for this palette in particular, I highly recommend Viseart because this one palette is a punch and the pigmentation is beautiful. I love the shimmers, probably some of the best shimmer colors I've seen. Besides the Metal Tin Too Faced shimmers, those are great too. But these shimmers are amazing. So futuristically, I can see myself buying another palette from Viseart. But like I said, these colors are pretty common, so I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, if you have all these colors, go out and buy this palette, because if you have them, why would you spend your money and buy more? Unless you're someone like me who has all these colors, but they're kind of scattered out through different palettes, and you want something more condensed and easier to travel with, then this is a great palette to have, especially since it's beautiful, the pigmentation is great. I honestly love this, and I can see myself using it in the future, tomorrow, yesterday, you know. So I definitely recommend this palette. I love the fact that they have these pink corally tone colors. And you know what? I love the fact that it's with these browns because I wear those colors a lot, but I don't have a palette that has both of those together. I have them scattered throughout. So I love how this is condensed. I can easily take this on a travel with me. Like if I go somewhere, my mom lives out of the state, so I travel to go visit her. We travel to go see my in-laws. So I'm always looking for something that's small that I really love, that I can get some versatile out of, but not have it be bulky and take up too much room in my bag. And this I really think is gonna be perfect. The product is just amazing. It really is. So I can see myself buying futuristically from Viseart. The only other downfall that I would say about this is the color names aren't on the back, okay? So they are only on the outer packaging. Only. That's kind of weird, okay? So I don't keep these, I throw them away. I know some people will keep their palettes in the outer packaging to store them and to keep the outer packaging nice. But guess what? I keep mine in a really nice place where they don't get dusty, so I have no purpose of this. This is garbage to me. Unless you're a collector, I could see also why you would keep the outer packaging, because sometimes it's really cute. But to me, I don't really find the outer packaging really amazing. It's just, it shows you the palette. That's cool, that's great, but I don't need to keep this. I really wish the color names were on the back. That would be helpful because I'm never gonna know the names again, and I'm not keeping this just to refer to the names. And so I apologize because when I was giving the eye tutorial, of course, I wasn't really good about telling you the names of them because it wasn't an easy reference for me. I didn't want to be holding two different, I couldn't hold all of this and my brush while I was telling you guys, oh yeah, this is blah, 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 you know? I will say the theme is really cute. I love how it's the Spritz cocktail drinks, and then of course like the bubbles, you know, they're on the palette for the spritzy like fizz, and then of course, you know, we have the names that have to do with, you know, the Spritz cocktails too, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for stopping by with Glow with Candace. I hope you enjoyed this review on the new Viseart eyeshadow palette, the Spritz Edit. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button down below. And if you want to stick around for future videos by me, hit the subscribe button down below as well. I would love to see you back here. But until next time, bye!